to protect myself. Your turn. Now, you cannot capture back. We have a little ko here. So you must play somewhere other than capturing back on your next play. Good. Good. Now this is a little more problematic. Notice when you play here, you leave yourself only one liberty left. And notice I have a liberty here and here. That is essentially throwing good money after bad. You don't have a good threat that you can make with that stone. So find a better play. That is a better play. Okay, notice these two stones put me in Atari over here. And I'm going to capture. Okay, the stone is now entrapped. You have one eye. You have a formation that will make a second eye over here. For practical purposes, all of these stones are protected. Atari. Good. You are stemming my advance this way. I'm going to capture over here, and now I have made a little living formation. One eye, two eyes, three eyes. However, we're very close to being done with this game. Excellent. Now you have protected yourself this way and confined me into a small space. I'm going to play over here. Your stone is an Atari. Notice that if you don't protect it, when I play here, I can capture it, but there's an easy way to protect it. What do you think? Well, let's think about that. How many liberties does that stone now have?
One.
Right, and how many liberties remaining do I have? 3. And whose move is it next? You'll be an Atari here and here. Find a better move. Right. Notice by playing here, this stone links all the way back up to here. You have one eye, and then over here, this boundary in line with this creates a second eye over here. I'm going to play over here. Okay, now hold on a second. Let's pause on this. If you play here, let's use an ink stone to do it. If you play here, you will capture this stone, right? The question is, do you need to do that? Let's think about it. Notice all these stones are linked all the way up to here. So this formation has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 liberties. The only way I could capture this formation, again, let's use the ink stones to do the what ifs. If I get here, and in addition, here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and then it's my turn. When I play there, it smothers your whole group. And if you capture, in the throw-in, I come back and I capture you back. Now, how many placements is that by me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you get any one of those 8 placements, I can't capture you. So do you need to invest in capturing that stone to make this group safe? The answer is no, you don't. In addition, remember way back when we were talking about what you get credit for? You get credit for what you surround, not for what you occupy. If you make this placement, yes, you take my stone off, but you have reduced your own territory by the point that you occupy with your own stone. So not only is that capture unnecessary, it costs you a point. Find a better move. Okay. Now I'm going to play over here. Right. Notice I'm in Atari. And if I do nothing else, when you play there, you can capture. So I'm going to protect my stone. And you have one more good move left in this game.
If I put it here.
Yeah, you can make that placement. And we're in co. Exactly right. You now have a prisoner, and because we're in co, I cannot capture you back. So I am going to play over here. And now you can fill the co, and that will end it. If you play here, there's no capture back.
If I put it here, it ends the game?
That ends the game. When you play there, I am going to pass, and let's see why. You've got one eye and a huge second eye. These three are trapped. I have one eye, two eye, and a large third eye. 1, 2, 3, 4 eyes over here. Nothing I need to do defensively, nothing I can do profitably offensively. No useful move. I should therefore pass. Your turn. Player pass.
Pass.
Exactly right. The game is now over. Now let's figure out who won and by how much. You have a prisoner and another prisoner. I may remove these stones without further going to the cost of smothering them. I place into your territory. I have some more prisoners in my bowl here. We arrange to make squared off formations to make it a little easier to count. Exactly right. And then we'll place over here and over here. You have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I win this game by 2 points, but you had a smaller handicap. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now if my student is active and energetic and still focusing, I like to have a third game in this initial session. But if my student is starting to show signs of mental fatigue or boredom, it's a good time to stop. So we are going to stop the tape at this point, and then I'm going to get some show and tells, and we will continue the tape after a little break. Okay, so all the teachers know, but the students who watch this don't necessarily know. Go is played on 3 sizes of boards. So back to our chess comparisons. Chess is played only on one size board, and that's the 8x8 grid. Go is played in serious competitions on the 9-line board, which is what we were using in our game, also on a 13-line grid, and the full-size board looks like this. It's a 19-line grid. The full-size board that we have here, in terms of its physical dimensions, length and width, is about the same size as a tournament-sized chessboard. But in terms of points of contact, it's 5.5 times the size of a chessboard. The chess grid, 8x8, fits into this little corner here. The basic board that we started with, the 9-line board, 9x9, that's this area here, is 20% larger in terms of points of contact than the chess grid. The intermediate size grid, 13x13, has 169 points of contact. So this is slightly larger in terms of points of contact. It's twice the size of a chess grid. Now, the other thing that I want to do for my show and tell, there are lots of resources in printed form in English and available on the internet. Everything that Angela and I have gone over by way of the basic rules is summarized in this wonderful little pamphlet called The Way of Go by Carl Baker. It exists as a free download online, and I give all of my students who want one a copy of this at the end of our lesson. So this is a take-home for you, Angela.
Thank you.
Now, we spoke about a number of terms. There are lots and lots and lots of terms, and the Myungji University in Seoul, Korea, has published this dictionary, Contemporary Go Terms, Definitions and Translations, and it's about 230 pages long, and it gives the parallel translations in English, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. When I first learned of the existence of Go, my senior year in high school, May 1964, the only book that was available in English was Arthur Smith's book, Go, the National Game of Japan. This is a very, very, very difficult book to use. And for people out there who watch what we may post as a YouTube, the only reason to get this book is if you want to add it for historical interest in your library. It is very, very difficult to work with. The games are given in terms of an algebraic grid, and the diagrams, you'll see an entire game on one diagram. And when I first tried to play a game using this diagram, I spent almost the entire time trying to figure out where the next move was. Very unhelpful. Now, at the Go Congress, we had some wonderful professionals who joined us from Korea, Japan, and China. And one of the professionals who joined us was a lovely young lady named Dahi Lee. Here she is. And she is the co-author of this book. The English title is Falling in Love with Baduk. The Korean word for Go is Baduk. Play a game in a week. The idea is if you read this book, in a week, you'll be able to play a game. You'll notice Angela and I were playing a game within half an hour. You don't have to wait a week. So my argument vis-a-vis the teacher's workshop was, this misses the target too high. It requires too much time to get a student into the game. On the other hand, teaching the capture game, which is very much a vogue here in the United States, misses the target too low. In the capture game, the first person who takes a stone wins the game by capturing one stone. But as we've seen, you can lose a lot of stones and still win the game, which in fact you did in our first game. The game is not about capturing stones. The game is about territory. And capturing stones can help you win, but it's not the objective of the game. And if you start teaching only the capture game, my argument as a teacher here in Anchorage, Alaska, at some point in the future you are going to have to implicitly apologize because you didn't teach the full rules of the game. And you will have to tell your student that what you taught them was only preliminary and not the game itself. One of the first people who brought Go to the United States was Ed Lasker, and he was a great chess player. And he wrote this book, Go and Gomoku. Gomoku is a little mental hors d'oeuvre. It's 5 in a row, sort of stretched tic-tac-toe. This is still a useful book, much more helpful than the Smith book, but far from the best books that are available for beginners. In my personal opinion, the best books that exist for beginners are these two. Mr. Iwamoto was a great professional, and this book, Go for Beginners, covers all the things that Angela and I have done, plus some more advanced strategies. And this is available from a firm in Los Angeles called Utopian, Y-U-T-O-P-I-A-N. Kiseido, another great publisher of Go literature in English, has this introduction, Go, A Complete Introduction to the Game, written by a great champion, Cho Chik-kun, one of the great prodigies in his youth. And Kiseido has gone forward. Mr. Boslich, the founder of Kiseido, has also got the second book of Go, and these are essentially companions. Once you've learned the basics, this is the next step in mastering the game and the more advanced concepts. Kiseido also publishes a series of problems, and this is in 4 volumes. And here they are. Graded Go problems for beginners, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are effectively workbooks to help you refine your technique. There are a total of about 1,500 problems in these 4 volumes, and they build up. Volume 1 is for complete beginners. Volume 2, you're advancing from complete beginner. Volume 3, you're now intermediate. And Volume 4, you're coming to an advanced level. Now, there has been yet another great series of books published. Janice Kim, a Korean-American young woman, went to Seoul, Korea to become a professional. And she brought back the lessons that she learned and put together a 5-volume series. What I've got here is volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5 of her Learn to Play Go series. These 5 volumes cover essentially everything that is in the Kiseido introduction and second book. The best part about Janice's series, her graphics are just superb. The illustrations are very large. She's got only a handful of moves per illustration. Very well illustrated, very helpful. So we're going to stop here, and that is the end of my show and tell. And I think I'm going to bring the tape to a close right here.